We are live, sir. And the news of the day.
I mean, what the fuck? Let's just go right out of
What
it.
the fuck is right?
What
Fucking
takes the midterms into total irrelevance at this point, you know?
what the fuck? So they were insolvent. They couldn't
Yep.
handle the liquidity. They were playing fucking games with people's money. And fucking Binance pushes them over the edge. And it's hilarious. You read SBF's tweet thread about it. You know, he makes it sound like because he says things have come full circle and FTX.com's first and last investors are the same. This is not an investment. This is I'm gonna fucking buy up what's left of you and take over your brand, dude. It's like wow, just wow.
Yeah. No, I know, but you know what I really like about it? I mean, aside from them just, getting the ego out of the way and doing the deal. I mean, that was key. And I mean, Caroline's probably breathing a deep sigh of relief after all of her reps the last couple of weeks.
Well, but the question is, where does Alameda stand? I mean, FTX is fucked, but was fucked, but we still don't know what Alameda's status is, do we?
What is FTX trading at? I saw it down at 17 earlier in the morning, but it's got to be back up.
Hold on. Let me check. Everything's down today, though. So
no, it all just turned. Well, fucking equities turned around.
Look at BTC, look at this. BTC back over 20.
Yeah.
All of this over fucking FTT. FTT's at $17.89.
Still, okay, all right.
This is unfucking believable, man. Wow.
No, when I saw that break and I just immediately popped all the macro windows, I was like, just giant green candles everywhere. And then I said, well, let's see how equities are doing. And I'm like, equities are rocking as well. And, Nikkei futures turned up. And I'm like, this is where what's so beautiful is everybody starts pricing in doom and gloom and crypto apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, CZ pulls this deal out. And the beauty I also like, this is the key thing to me. Now he can piggyback or backdoor on all of FTX's lobbying and regulatory and compliance stuff to advance Binance US.
Well, and I tell
FTX,
you what,
whatever it's gonna be.
sure as fuck trust Binance and CZ to do the right thing on DeFi more than I do fucking Sam and FTX. That's for goddamn sure. So, that to me is just look, I'm watching. Sean's been commenting in the material indicators groups quite a bit, and he's, he doesn't like CZ anyway, and he's really pissed off about what happened with this.
The earlier part, yeah.
I'm pretty friggin' sure CZ went into this weekend knowing or planning to try to come out of this other side of this owning FTX, because I think he knew exactly what their status was. I think he knew that when he announced that they were dumping and that he had inklings of their problems, that I think he knew what he was getting into.
Well, I also think that, it doesn't mean it was all premeditated 3 weeks ago, but what I really like is how, obviously there was some ego clash going on there. But I like how in the end, he's like, fuck it, because everybody was giving him shit for potentially tanking the whole market. I mean, as of like an hour and a half ago or an hour ago.
You're freezing up, Joe. Oh, Joe. Hello, Joe. So Euphoric says, does CZ get sold and can it all be bridged to BNB? No, I think that's Alameda's. I don't think CZ wants to touch Alameda. You froze up, buddy.
Yeah, I'm back now, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're lagging, but you're back.
I'll keep the motion to a minimum.
Is your phone on Wi-Fi or cellular, dude?
Both. Yeah, it's just it's tough at this part of the Grove. But yeah, no, my laptop's dead, so I got to go.
Okay. Time to get a Mac, my buddy, my friend.
Yeah, I got 3 more at another location. I'm gonna grab one of those, just that don't make noise,
Yeah, those disposable notebooks.
Yeah, you know me. I'm like, I don't care if I lose it. Then it's like whatever. And I mean, what do we use them for nowadays? Really? I mean, only thing I seem to be doing on is communicating. Like I've always. I mean, obviously hyper communicating on Twitter, but research, reports, collaboration, all the stuff that I've always done. I don't really need all that all that processing power anymore for, cranking out monster decks and big financial models. I don't really do that as much. So
yeah. So for those of you just joining us, crypto giant Binance is acquiring FTX. I got to tell you, it feels like the fucking business move of the.
Well, it definitely put a little spring in everybody's step. I mean, look, everybody who is negative is now positive.
Exactly.
And don't you just feel better?
Of course, I feel better because I trust him more than I trust Sam, and it's a ballsy move, man.
Mine was more of I didn't want to see Sam turn into Do Kwon, basically.
Yeah.
That was the catastrophe I was worried about.
Exactly.
So
speaking of which, did you wait a minute? Let me find this. Guess who sent out his first tweet in 4 months? Shuzu. He said, "Good morning to Kobe."
Interesting.
So everybody's like, "What the fuck? Is this guy back now? Are you kidding me?" He probably figures, well, watching Sam and FTX collapse,
I can't even remember what project he was working anymore.
3 arrows, Dad. Three
arrows. 3 arrows. All right. I was like, kept thinking Do Kwon, and I'm like, Susie, who the fuck was that? There's been so many people.
Danielle, Sifu,
Su,
Do Kwon, all these guys are like the bad guys. And this is only since fucking January. I mean, think about this. 11 months, not even 11 months of utter unbelievable chaos, absolute chaos. But look, I mean, this FTX shit, another example of no transparency, centralized stuff, and I'll say this for CZ, he keeps his shit open. They keep their wallets open. They let people see that the money's there, right? And that they're not fucking around with users' money, which I think we're going to find out. FTX was maybe fucking around with people's money. We'll see. And, they halted withdrawals. It's a total mess. And look, I truly believe CZ knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to come out the other side owning FTX. And he does.
Well, I mean, because look, the danger was with FTX being so, kind of like the USDC type place. So trying to fit into a U.S. regulatory environment, regulators or powers that be are going to anoint someone for that space. Yeah. And, if it was going to be FTX, then you could kind of expect that there was probably going to be the next shoe would drop on a giant investigation of Binance or something. And then they'd be elevating FTX. But now this saves all of that for CZ too. And now he's inside now at the meeting or somebody's at the meeting with those guys, the lawyers. But he can compartment it too. This is what's cool.
Ugh, Joe, you're freezing again, dude. Move to another part of your house, man. All right.
It's going to be then it's like he has all the other stuff there for the totally kind of sandboxy stuff that we like so much.
Right.
So there's a lot of ways to kind of carve this up. I mean, it's like you said, you keep saying it. It's just a brilliant strategic move.
Yeah, absolutely. CZ is saying that he has the authority to pull out from the deal at any time. It's non-binding.
Right. That's standard.
Let's see what else. Dynamic situation, assessing in real time. FTX, he says FTX reached out to them and asked for help. After they've been put back on their fucking heels.
Oh, dude, we're going to just dump all your stock. Oh, hey, dude, wanted to talk to you about something. It's like, of course that's going to happen. But the thing is, I bet the only thing, when he says non-binding, it's true. No term sheet is binding. But all it really has is something in there. It probably has a no shop clause. I mean, I don't know where else, because you wouldn't want like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley to say, well, fuck this, we're going to buy it. He has to have that in there. And he probably put down some kind of earnest deposit, or might have done that just to keep it more sticky. And the only other thing would be confidentiality. on deal terms.
I have a feeling CZ put look, I mean, I'm sure the terms are, hey, we'll bail out some of these folks that you need to pay who are trying to withdraw, but I can stem the tide because it's Binance and they'll know that it's backed by Binance. But the other interesting thing is this is how panicked Sam must be at this point, because if you think about it, what you just said is critical. There are so many players in the banking and finance industry that would love to buy this project, right? Because it gives them the gateway, a massive gateway into this space. So he's so desperate, he couldn't go to any of the guys or start a bidding war or do anything else. His only option was this. That was it.
Yeah, but there's also now, you know, you just really, I mean, there's nothing that prevents BlackRock, Blackstone, Goldman, those guys to go at Sam with the, hey, dude, you know, you didn't shop it. We're on your doorstep. We'll offer you X.
Right. No, that's true.
And then Sam can just stall out for 90 days.
Yeah.
Or whatever the term sheet duration is, and then go to them.
Yeah.
So no shop's not really going to work in this situation.
Well, but here's the thing. His risk right now is people not being able to get their money. Right. He has an immediate risk of being in deep shit because people can't get their money. They can't sell what they have. They're not allowing withdrawals. So he's got huge legal risk at this point. So, and the other thing they made clear is FTX US is staying a separate entity, not part of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just FTX.com.
No, so that doesn't really do anything for the regulatory stuff then.
No, because FTX.com is in the regulatory game.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Eamon says SBF going to own the world and CZ is going to own SBF.
Yeah, CZ just got a great employee.
Look at this. Eamon says BNB is up 21%. Really? Are you friggin' kidding me? 12% right now. Let me see. Maybe this needs to be refreshed.
I'm just going to check something.
Still 12% is friggin' astronomical. Like, hell yeah. Because guess what? FTX isn't going to use FTT for fees anymore. It's going to be BNB. I don't even know. Maybe he just rolls it all in and that kills the brand. I don't know.
Yeah, no, look, Cake's up 9%, Link 7.5%. I mean, yeah, the top two performers are BNB and Cake right now on all the coins. FTT is still down 21%.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything's still slightly down from 24 hours, but still, yeah, but still doing well. It's a good day. It's a crazy day, but it's a good day. This is insanity, dude. I was like, what? I was not paying attention. I was heads down working. And all of a sudden I look up and there's this tweet in my notifications from SBF. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Unbelievable. He says it's at 388. So it looks like there's a little lag on drops tab. Oh man. Unbelievable. Woo. Look, I mean, the beauty of this is if you think about the cascading occurrences right now of this leaked document, starting off everyone freaking out about Alameda and then realizing that it was actually also FTX that's in trouble. And then just kind of this, cascading events that occurred. And then basically CZ saying, you know what, let me just push them right over the fucking edge. I said, and then CZ just basically saying, you know what, let me push him over the edge because I could buy this shit up. So, yeah. Anyway, Joe, you there? So
I'm back. Yeah, I was having issues. 388.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So big news. That is the big news of the day, folks. Obviously took precedence over a couple of other things that are going on. Let me see what else I've got here. So, I don't even know. There were over 344 million in liquidations in the last 24 hours during the drop. So,
well, that's what I was trying to say before I got had technical difficulties. Was don't forget the Fed's still selling all that Bitcoin right now, and so I was looking in the morning. That's what I've heard. It's all on the central exchanges. There was a lot of talk about that yesterday and the day before. So, I was worried about that. So I was thinking in the morning, and then FTX Terra level debacle on top of that, I was like, fuck, man, here comes that deep V Sean's been talking about.
Yeah.
Or here
Right.
comes that leg down that Sean's been talking about it. And I'm hoping it's a deep V. And then, everything, of course, turns positive. And so now I'm like, okay, so now maybe, we'll see what happens now. It absorbed that, what did it say, $344 million sale. More's probably coming. I mean, I think they got what, 3.3 billion?
Yeah. Euphoric made a really good point here, is that Binance has $500 million in Twitter right now.
That's right.
So that's another, it is a big advantage. It says BNB also has the Twitter advantage. Dude, a lot of people don't like the man. I personally do, for the most part. There are things I haven't liked that he's done, but I got to tell you, this guy is so good. He's just so good. I can't, it's hard to find fault with his strategic capabilities.
Well, he's just in the catbird seat. I mean, he's got all the cash.
Yeah, but he built himself to there, right? I mean, he's been responsible. He hasn't fucking played with people's money. He's built a chain. He's trying to support DeFi. He's invested in competitors like FTX. He was the first investor in FTX. He's invested in all kinds of projects across the board, and he's built an organization that runs on its own, doesn't even really need him for the most part. So I don't know,
that's the catbird seat.
Yeah. You're right. So crazy shit. So, and then Zhu Su decides he wants to pop in right now. So, he probably figures he can't look too bad anymore if Alameda and FTX are at the brink of collapse. Somebody pointed out the other day that not only did Sam, what is his name, Trabuca, leave Alameda, but the president also left Alameda. And so there's already been a lot of problems over there that should have probably made people aware. But now, of course, the insolvency. Hey, get ready for a lot more princes, Nigerian princes.
Why is that?
Nigerian presidential candidate says he wants to create 30 million jobs with using crypto.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of jobs, man. I mean, all right. So, wait. Okay, but also I need help. Can you find my long lost relative that died in Kazakhstan?
Exactly.
Yes, I'll send you $1 million up front for that.
Euphoric says CZ visited London and spent all day talking to MPs.
I like that.
Yeah.
Crypto London, man. Crypto London.
I'm looking more and more at London, man. I told my family last night, I said, depending on what happens today, you may be finding a new home soon in the UK. Because Sean told me the kingdom would welcome me back. He messaged me that
hey man, Sean, look, my mom's side of the family were Tories in New York in the Revolutionary War and were kicked out of this country.
I've got Irish somewhere in the background, but it's not recent enough to qualify for their citizenship thing.
Yeah, it's too hard to do that. I don't even know if you can do the dual anymore. My buddies, like Gavin, has dual, and his brothers all do, but they
my wife and kids can do Germany.
No, I mean in Ireland. That was a big thing, because what happened is there was a fire in like 1900 something that burned down all the records of everybody there. So basically people just show up and go to the pub and find someone who's going to say, yeah, I remember his grandfather. You get a passport. I mean, that's the way it used to be. Obviously,
I didn't know that. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was like in the 90s, or late 80s, mid 90s, right around there. Yeah, it's funny, man.
Wow, that's friggin' nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. Well, Nigeria, I'm sorry to any Nigerians that happen to listen for making the spam email joke, but you guys, that country is well known for being the spam prince, Nigerian prince.
But it has so much potential. That's the other thing, because they got the oil and other things. I mean, that is one, it's obviously key to Africa in total. But hey, Adebayo, I was thinking, I didn't realize, so I guess Bam Adebayo must be Nigerian too. So, a lot of Heat fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brad.
35% of Nigerians, 33.4 million Nigerians aged 18 to 60 have owned or traded digital assets in the previous 6 months. I mean, that's a serious friggin' level of adoption. I mean, that's like, I don't know if anybody's close to that besides like Venezuela, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
what's going on in El Salvador? Is it all rolled out to their peeps too, or?
No,
I
I
know
mean
Venezuela, like we talked about that. Yeah.
everybody got theirs in El Salvador, but nobody's using it. They all dumped it, or and the country can't sell the bonds that they got. I just saw an article the other day about that they haven't sold any of the bonds. I mean, look, the timing was horrible for that project. I really wanted to see that succeed. I'm not a big fan of the president there, but I definitely want to see that succeed. Obviously, it's good for all of crypto if Bitcoin succeeds there. But right now, it's on the rocks.
Yeah, I also think I heard that Costa Rica was going to do something similar. Now, Costa Rica, have you ever been down there?
Oh, yeah, I've heard. Everybody I know
gorgeous.
that's been there loves it. Yeah.
And I've been like about 6 times, and sometimes for like 3 weeks at a time, and you could just, I mean, look, you're finding stuff on the beach, if you're willing to. I mean, I'm willing to go down 1-star level all the time for that kind of thing, because it's hammocks and bungalows for like $10, and seafood everywhere, and anything else you would be interested in, you're going to find in a very relaxed, tropical, peaceful environment. Because Costa Rica, when the Europeans showed up in Central America, they usually enslaved the local population. But in Costa Rica, there weren't any native. There was no native population, so the Europeans had to actually work the land themselves. So you don't have those 99.9% of the people having like 0.01% of the wealth. Right. You have like a very equitable distribution. So you never, I mean, they've had some incidents, but I've never ever felt unsafe there at all.
I've never been. I'd love to go.
You guys, it's a great family place too. I mean, that's whitewater rafting, all the jungle stuff, animals, nature. It's awesome.
Nice.
Surfing too.
Nice. So. Very nice. Well, look, I would love to see a country like Nigeria do this. I'd love to see them like clean up, some of the problems they have with scamming the rest of the world. And, it's, I think it's a great aggressive stance to have, and hopefully he'll win and be able to do it. That's all.
There was a lot of speculation. I think I saw it in the Jarvis stuff, but recently about a central banks for crypto, basically, is what's being talked a lot about in these different, government regulatory type things.
Right.
And, if Nigeria could, if they could pull this off and become like the crypto hub of Africa, then you can also function as like a central bank of crypto for Africa, with all the other country kind of like window accounts, so to speak. So this could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be. They could become the hub there.
What's the M-Pesa?
So M-Pesa is a money transfer service. I don't know how often they're involved in, I don't know if they're involved in crypto at all, but I guess what Niblitz is saying, Niblitz said, M-Pesa to crypto isn't a long jump, so makes sense Africa should get on board. M-Pesa is a African payment remittance service. Yeah. So I'm assuming what he's saying is basically that M-Pesa could move into crypto and then
easily,
and then it would make sense for Africa to be on board. So that's good.
Is Western Union doing that here? Like the stuff going on in Mexico and other places? Are they moving it in crypto yet? I thought we talked about that.
I think they are. I mean, they had a deal with XRP. They had a deal with what's the one that starts with an S? I don't know. One of those kind of 2017 chain dead projects that's kind of made Stellar. Thank you. They had deals with them, but they were providing basically the back end for transfers. So essentially, Western Union continues to get, gigantic percentages out of poor people of their money, and is going to dramatically reduce their costs of sending that money. Right. So for me, any project that's enabling that shit, you're no friend of crypto. Sorry. If you're helping an organization like that screw over people at that level, it's just wrong. That's not the ethos of what we're trying to do. So I got no love for that.
Yeah, look, if you're already charging them $50 and you can do the whole thing for like, 10 cents, charge them $25. You're still making like what, probably four or five times your current operating margin, even if you cut your price in half.
Yeah.
So, do things like that. That's what's kind of more in the ethos of crypto, I think. Do you agree?
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Niblet says M-Pesa is cell phone based financial transactions, i.e. farmers get crop prices and make sales right on their phone, interpersonal transactions, etc. So looks like it's like almost your bank on your phone without being a bank is what it sounds like to me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This was the other reason things were down last night, today, is LBRY. That's a video-based blockchain that launched a few years ago, was going up against the SEC and lost yesterday. The judge's ruling does not bode well for a lot most DeFi projects. It's actually really bad. Now, thankfully, this does not set precedent across all of it because of the way LBRY's attorneys were fighting. They only fought one leg of Howey. They didn't try to fight other legs of Howey. And the team like massively screwed up. And there are a ton of fucking lessons for us to be learning from this shit, right? If you're launching DeFi projects, look at what the fucking judge says in this case, right? He quotes in the case documents, he quotes emails to investors, blog posts to investors from LBRY, basically saying, tying their enterprise to the value of the fucking token and whether or not they perform on delivering on what the project was going to do. And it's like, if you haven't figured this out yet,
Yeah, letter to investors. Yeah, it's something like letter to investors.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not an investment. Well, why is it the letter to investors? It's like,
exactly. It's that kind of shit. And they were saying shit like, as long as we get this platform stabilized, blah, 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 then that should reflect in the value. Now, they kept trying to do things to like claim they weren't, but it was like, dude, give me a fucking break. They also pointed out team allocations as a big problem. And the judge and actually my buddy Gabriel, I say my buddy, we're not really friends. My buddy Gabriel Shapiro actually thinks this part of this could have been contested because he says that the reasoning is challengeable. He said it essentially counts the same facts. LBRY team owning tokens as satisfying two different elements of Howey. And that's not how the test was meant to be applied. So he thinks it could be contested, but he thinks he won't because LBRY didn't go after more than one prong of Howey. But there's a lot of analysis coming out now saying, look, this makes your roadmap, right? It doesn't mean every judge is going to be the same, but it certainly says to projects, here's the shit you shouldn't do because this is what the SEC is going to go after in court challenges. And this is what you can lose on. So don't.
Yeah. It's one of the things that we talk a lot about that, it's not really about what the token in my mind isn't always a security, but when you go out and talk about it like it's a security, like it's an investment, you turn it into a security.
Yeah.
That's why it's so it's, you can't talk like this is the bottom line. And this is what killed all the ICO people. Yeah. You look at all the investment prospectuses, basically, I mean, they're all, screwed because of that language, basically. Not all, but a large portion. And, that's what gave the SEC traction to start calling stuff a security, not because it is, but because you treated it as one and violated all of the fundraising rules around securities. Yeah, and that's what gets you in trouble.
Well, and that's what the thing, I mean, it was just stupid. I mean, look at the words in how was it Howey? Look at the words where it says working on whatever it says, working in a common enterprise for gains, right? That's exactly the kinds of shit they were saying, that the team was going to work on the platform to make it better, to improve the value for people that held the token. Well, dude, you might as well just like dictate from Howey exactly what it's just stupid.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the language, that's why you want to use these top tier law firms on this. And that's why what's usually a 1-pager turns into a 14-pager because it's filled up with all kinds of shit. Oh, yes, he might say security here, but it's not an investment back here, pursuant to blah, 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 blah. You know, and so, you know, you just can't, you have to be so careful here. I mean, I know Jobs Act got people in crowdfunding, got people thinking they didn't have to do that. And then when it jumped to crypto, the whole concept, people were really kind of cowboying it up. But, you know, you got to be super careful today. I know this is the past, but anybody doing anything now, study this lesson.
Yeah. I mean, look, these are things that should have already been obvious by now. Like a project should already know this shit. Hire a good attorney so you know this shit. Call Joe if you need a good attorney. Message him. He knows the best in the business. So just do it. And also look at a cooperative. We'll connect you up with Yev. Cooperatives have securities exemptions. So you wouldn't even necessarily, you have to still be careful, but you wouldn't even necessarily, as long as you followed the rules of cooperatives, you wouldn't necessarily even have to worry about it because cooperatives are allowed to have that kind of representation in what they're doing. So anyway, I tweeted yesterday, maybe LBRY is exactly the kick in the ass we needed. Projects need to radically decentralize like Robert Lacko did with liquidity protocol. And if you can't do that, no pre-mine, no hype, no allocations. And then, you know, the final step is, I guess, try to be radically anonymous because they're coming after us and you need to be prepared and you need to make sure you do the smart things. Look, Robert Lacko at Liquidity, I guarantee you, man, he made a lot of money, but you can relaunch these projects and before it has traction and know that you're never going to touch it again and that you're not going to do anything to boost its value and that the community can go out together as a formed official legal DAO and promote it if they want to and talk about the project and getting loans and using the platform. But if you're launching a project, you can get in on your own tokens while they're cheap, right? You don't have to do a pre-mine. It's not required. You don't have to allocate to teams. There's an opportunity to launch something decentralized and not be in that position. So,
you know, that's interesting because I remember when, you know, on the TradeFi side of, you know, when we were doing raises and different startups back, and this is with those top tier law firms, there was always a thing where, you know, you were never given, I mean, maybe you got options at the beginning too, but you always bought that first round of stock or first round of options. Nothing was given to you. It was at par value or something. So, you know, 0.001 a share or
it was
something.
Cheap as shit, but still.
You wrote a check for like $104 or whatever, or something like that.
Exactly.
And had a shitload of it. But then I think that's probably the analog in regulatory side. That's why both of them are now requiring this type of thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. There was plenty of opportunity here to not fuck this up. And what's amazing to me is, by the way, the guy that founded LBRY is also was running for Senate in the Republican primary, and he lost. But
which state?
He's libertarian, New Hampshire.
Okay.
But you know, this was not one I necessarily probably would have been fighting real hard for because I don't know if his attorneys were telling him, oh yeah, no problem, we're going to win this one. Because I mean, just looking at the record of shit that the SEC was bringing up to me says, you know, maybe
settle.
This isn't yeah, exactly. Now, and here's the other interesting thing, right? This project's out there. It functions. People upload videos to it. It is a thing that people are using. So is this, you know, does it matter? I mean, it matters to the founders because they're probably going to pay fines or whatever, but the project can't be shut down. The community can keep operating. You know, does it really matter? I don't know.
You know, I think they should have just settled this and paid a little fine and moved on because, you know, the thing is, I was just thinking about ETH again. And I remember that a lot of the speculation was that, oh yeah, ETH might have, you know, is not a security, but it might have violated some security rules in the fundraising process. Right. And here's the fine, here's the 150 million or whatever. And now you're not a security. So a transition. Now, of course, now they're saying it may have gone back to being a security with the nodes in the US argument. But, you know, to me, I think all these things like LBRY, did I lose you? They migrated. into I don't know if the show's still going on. I think it is. But they migrate from potentially securities into non-securities.
Yeah.
I lost you there for a second. I wasn't sure if I was.
Yeah, I had to refresh. My screen was locking up on me. So.
Oh, I like that little picture behind you.
That's a diffusion bee generated anime.
Oh.
Yeah. That was AI generated, dude.
Uh-oh. You're gonna have a bunch of artists stampeding your house and burning it down.
All right. So I sent this to my kid. This guy Palmer Lucky is a real piece of shit. He built the Oculus that Facebook acquired, and then Facebook fired him because he was a toxic piece of shit. He now owns a military contractor that builds precision drones and technology for folks. But he decided to build a VR headset that will kill you if you die in the game.
Oh,
and
great.
He loaded explosives at the front of it so that if you lose in a game, the explosives blow off and rip your head off.
Did he demo it?
That's what I said. I would love for him to give it a shot. I'd love for him to test it out. He said down below he doesn't have the balls.
Yeah, we could get him into like a 1v1 brawl with snipers in Call of Duty. Let's see how he does on that one.
Exactly. He said at this point, it's just a piece of office art, a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design, he said of his killer headset.
Well, you know, I mean, it's kind
of. He also has plans for an anti-tamper mechanism that will make it impossible to remove or destroy the headset. So, essentially outfitting some terrorists with some heads.
That sounds a little nutty to me. I don't know.
I'm seeing a movie out of this. I see a movie plot.
I think there'd be a good movie plot. Scanners. Remember that movie Scanners back in the day?
Yeah.
Where the heads would all blow up or something like that? I can't remember. And the other ones with collars. Wasn't like Running Game, that one with Schwarzenegger and Richard Dawson, where it's in the future and it's a game where like a roller ball on steroids.
Oh yeah.
And they had collars that blew up too, I think, right?
Yeah. Have you ever seen? My son and I last night accidentally watched a movie called 10 Cloverfield Lane. Have you ever heard of this?
I have heard of it, but I can't remember what it's about.
It was actually a sequel. It's got John Goodman. And it was a sequel to a movie called Cloverfield, I think. And it had pretty good reviews. And so we just happened. Oh, I don't know what it was. Zach was looking at some site that does Niblets Likes Running Man. I said, Arfus art packed full of explosives, and he designed ambient killer drones. Yeah, that's it. Like the school bully waiting for you in the playground after school. Patience is a virtue, I guess. Running Man.
Yeah.
Anyway, this movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. And it's a guy, John Goodman, who's a prepper who has a bunker, and he brings a woman in from the outside and tells her that there's been an attack above ground and she can't leave. And it's him and her and this other guy in this underground bunker. And it has
She's going to be busy.
It has oh my God. So you think creepy, crazy guy, and he is creepy, crazy guy, but there's a lot more to this with a fun twist at the end that my son predicted, and I told him he was nuts. I highly, highly recommend 10 Cloverfield Lane. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Evidently, the sequel to that one is horrendous. Netflix paid for it, and there is actually another one coming out. The first version in the series was about New York City, and it's a camcorder movie from 2008. And it's got pretty good reviews, so we're gonna watch that one next. But anyway, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Does your son like Peripheral?
Oh yeah, we both love Peripheral. We need another fucking episode. What the fuck?
I know, that's a crazy show.
That's so good. I love all the shit it makes you think about.
Yeah, I also loved how.
Oh, I started Electric Dreams, by the way, too.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's some twisted
good
stuff, man.
Twisted.
But yeah, shit. I love how when they're going in Peripheral, when they're going into the other world, and Connor, the guy who like lost his legs and stuff in battle, and he's like, wait, so I get to go into a whole body over there?
I get a full body?
A real body?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm in, man. And so then he goes and he's in Flynn's body, running around. So he's in a girl body. It's just so like kind of, you think about metaverse and you think about, when you're playing these games.
It's got everything. It's got metaverse, parallel worlds. It's got time travel. It's so good. It's got tech. It's got cool tech, realistic tech. Yeah.
Those invisible cars, man. Yeah, that was pretty twisted.
That was awesome. This was me last night. I tweeted the dumpening.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, looking. I'm like, oh shit.
That was them stopped to see all my news is like done now because it's like FTX stopped processing withdrawals on chain data says Binance Bitcoin balance on FTX exchange went negative. That must have been the moment that the call went out to fucking CZ.
Hey CZ buddy. Hey man. There's some bad vibes out there in CT right now, but I want you to know that I've always liked you.
Can you spare a dime of Bitcoin? Because I got no Bitcoin to pay people with.
Yeah, 50% off.
To get it out. Exactly.
50% off for the next 60 minutes. Let me know what you want to do.
Somebody put together an entire Dune dashboard that monitors all of Alameda's and FTX's wallets and transfers in and out. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, can you you're gonna put that link in the notes?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
cool. All right.
Yeah, no, it's cool. You sent this Wintermute incubated DeFi aggregator Bbot expands to
Polygon.
Yeah, that's cool. What does Bbot do? So they're a DEX aggregator.
Yes.
Okay.
So, our whole cross-chain, blah, blah, blah thesis is another one. I don't really know them, but I read the article. It looked interesting. I thought you might know more about them. That's why I kind of threw it in the channel.
Nah, I've never heard of them, but I'm going to take a look at it. 30,000 member strong Ethereum-based token trading platform. Wow. All right. Transfers across multi-chain world. Well, I can't talk about it yet. Never mind. Sorry. I'll wait. Got a little Canto news coming, but nothing yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was about to spill it, and then I was like, okay, I can't do that yet.
Yeah. Well, that's for the VIP channel later, right?
That's it. That's for the $123 a month channel. I give you the best trades. You come follow me. No problem. You be rich.
We make you rich, man.
Make you rich. You can follow me. $123 a month. I tell you everything you need to do. 10,000 to 10 million in no time.
Yeah, exactly. Retire Tuesday. But what was that one? That gambler movie with Al Pacino and McConaughey, where he goes in and he goes to New York. He's a kind of an injured quarterback from college. He picks football. He goes to New York. Pacino brings it. It's also got not Charlize Theron, but it's got another big actor in there as well. But basically, I was thinking of it when you were.
Is it?
No. But I was thinking about it when you were giving your pitch, like, "Hey, man, you'll be rich, Tuesday or something," and how these guys work, the gambling dudes, and how they talk them into putting more in. And it reminded me of like Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, and that kind of boilerplate sales or Wolf of Wall Street. Anytime anybody's pitching you that hard, you need to take a break because you're getting ready to go over the edge and do something stupid because you just don't want to talk to this person anymore. Yeah. So, just always remember how hard someone's selling a deal.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
I love that one.
Any Given Sunday. Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah.
Ethereum's Buterin wants the crypto industry to limit its reliance on institutional investors. I don't think we need to read the here's why. I think we all know the here's why. It's like, you've got to, there's some risk there, right? You don't want like 75% of the entire industry being just institutional investors because then, you got problems. So,
one thing though is that, when you look at like equities, there's always a balance between institutional and retail. And I think it's usually like 70-30 or 80-20. And so what it ends up doing is it sort of stabilizes the price because institutional doesn't sell.
Yeah,
And when they
that's
do
true.
sell, it's, usually OTC or something like that, or it's, discrete. They're not
Yeah.
like, dumping it on the open market. So I wonder if institutional was holding big positions in Matic and ETH and things like that, and they're getting yield, they would never sell.
Right.
So there might
No,
be
that
a
makes
counter
sense. Well,
argument to that just to think about.
I think what he's saying here, I'm kind of breezing through while I'm talking,
Yeah.
is
Okay, cool.
that it would force the whole system to be internally compliant and make it incredibly difficult for people to keep innovating and building crazy financial applications. And so he thinks we should have them, and that they have helped to maintain price and helped keep us afloat during crypto winter because their money is in here. But that if they come deep into DeFi, it's going to really limit what DeFi can do. So
yeah, because then like you're saying, he's concerned it turns it all into regulated DeFi instead of sandbox DeFi.
Exactly.
Cool.
So
makes sense.
See what else.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great. I'm going to put this in the show notes, but this is a great comparison of Maker versus Liquidity that Liquidity put out, like human governance versus algorithmic governance. And this is perfect based on the LBRY thing, right? Maker is governed by the MakerDAO community. Liquidity is a fully algorithmically governed without any human involvement. Multi-collateral versus single collateral. So Maker has multiple tokens as collateral, whereas Liquidity is only ETH. And it's unfreezable. LUSD is 100% unstoppable because it's deployed. Nobody can touch it. Nobody can do anything with it, right? Own Oracle.
Wait, explain that to me.
So Liquidity is deployed radically decentralized. Nobody can stop it, right? Nobody can stop the creation or burning of LUSD. Nobody can interfere with it. It's just runs. And as long as the algorithm keeps functioning as well as it has, and it launched in 2021 point.
I remember you turned me on to them like February of 21.
Yeah. As long as it keeps functioning the way it's supposed to, which it has, you can't stop it from functioning. It's out there. It's done. And no humans control it. No humans can touch it. So
it's like an organism. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean by radically decentralized. Deploy that shit. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, go back to the drawing board and deploy something else. So anyway, or own Oracle versus Chainlink plus Teller Oracle. So Maker uses their own Oracle and has whitelisted data providers. Liquidity uses Chainlink, and Teller is their backup Oracle.
Awesome.
So third party. Liquidity centrally hosted interface versus decentralized front end. So there is no Liquidity interface at liquidity.org. You can't go and use Liquidity at the Liquidity website. The only way you can use Liquidity is by using interfaces that are deployed by other people. They provide a front-end kit that people can use, but you have to go to other websites to use it. So it's a decentralized web interface that's hosted on multiple platforms. And you can go to any of those platforms to use Liquidity. And those platforms can all take a cut of parts of the revenue that come back and forth. It's built into the system. So,
what's interesting about that, Brad, is that kind of also, I think there's a regulatory angle to that as well.
Oh, totally, completely. I mean, that's what beautiful. They were going for. Yeah, that's
beautiful.
It's a regulatory angle. It's also reduces the attempts of DNS attacks. Right? Nobody can steal the domain, and then people can't get to their money, or their money gets stolen. Now, that could theoretically happen on one of these other hosted interfaces. So there's still some risk there, but it's lessened. The risk has decreased. Some, and users can get to their money no matter what. Now, decentralized front ends, truly decentralized is better, but for now that's good. So we talked about that. Variable interest versus zero interest. So Maker has a variable interest rate. Liquidity, there's zero interest rate. You pay a small upfront fee. Collateralization ratios, Maker's vaults range 130%, 150%, 175%. Their most capital efficient vault is 130%, requiring 40,000 in debt. Liquidity's minimum collateralization ratio is 110%, and the minimum debt required is $2,000.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, auctions versus instant liquidations. Maker liquidates through an auction mechanism. Liquidity instantaneously liquidates. The mechanism just works and functions and liquidates, right? The stability pool, what people make money on, which I did for a while, causes the liquidations. Emergency shutdown versus recovery mode. Maker has an emergency shutdown, means in case of low collateralization ratio, the system would wind down. Liquidity has a recovery mode that is designed to push the system back to normal. So they have an entire algorithm system that actually reduces the collateralization levels, and after liquidation rounds, if things are heating up, and will reduce what people can take, so that it actually starts to balance itself out algorithmically. No humans have to intervene in it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, check it out. Big liquidity fan. I thought this was a really great comparison, and why I'm a big believer in what Liquidity's doing, why I talk all the time about radical decentralization. It's a good project.
I actually think Liquidity was the very first LP pool that I put money into.
Are you sure?
Back. Wasn't that aren't they the ones when I was joking? Because when we went in at the beginning, it was like,
nah, you and I, no, that was someplace else. That was on Polygon, I think. Didn't we do it on Polygon first?
Oh, jeez, I can't remember, but I don't know. But February 21, I wasn't on Polygon because Doki hadn't rolled out to Polygon at that point.
Go to DeBank, connect your wallet, and then go through the history tab and go back to the very beginning. That'll tell you.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I was joking with them because the APYs or APRs, whatever it was back then, was like 700%. And then remember the next day it went down to like 119%. Yeah, and I sent you a text. Those sons of bitches got my interest rate to 114%.
Yeah, that was because.
But no, I just thought it was funny. I was like,
no, it's hilarious. Justin's son put in like a gigantic chunk of money in Liquidity, took his profits, and then got out.
Okay.
And so that was a big chunk of money. 50 days since the merge, only 2,000 ETH have been added to the total supply in that period. If it was still proof of work, 600,000 ETH would have been added. It's a 99% difference. Oops. And
wait, when are those lockups ending again on all the stake ETH?
They don't know for sure yet. It's 6 months away, something like that.
Okay, good. All right.
But this is the overall ETH supply downtrend, which is, I think, encouraging.
Yeah, I like that. Did they have a numerical number of ETH at that peak? Like how many were there?
No, this is an image, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
Oh, well. Is that what this number is? 15 million, 500? No, that can't be right.
I know. I don't see how that could be it. Yeah.
No, that's not it. Well, I don't think he's. Sources.
Well, that's good because it's doing what it was supposed to do post merge.
Yeah. Current supply 120,523,000. Supply chain is up 2,426 since the merge. But what was the maximum? Oh, this is so nicely done. This interface is pretty.
This is
the highest. Oh, this is a 200-year projection of the supply. That's
what's it go down to?
47 million.
Fuck, so like almost like just double BTC at that point.
Yeah, peak supply 120.5 million. Wait, what did it just say we're at? Yeah, this is peak supply. I guess that's weird. Yeah,
I love that. Like
lots of good shit going on for Ethereum right now, man. I'm not ever going to be a maxi, but I'm getting more and more excited. After I talked to Haim Solomon, I was even more excited. And that eigenlayer shit really gets me excited too.
Well, also, but I love that last chart we just looked at, or graph, that it clearly shows that ETH is going from wherever it is today. I think you said 120 million, 25 million, to 40 something million or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So if for guys that aren't trading or newbies coming into the market, of course, BTC, but now you've got a clear case for ETH too, and a buy it and forget about it kind of mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's going down almost to the supply. Well, what's BTC max out? 23 million?
Yeah, 23.
Okay, so this is like 42. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, and think about that. The federal government now owns like 10% of the maximum supply of Ethereum, I think.
Of BTC?
I mean, of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, look, if you went out on the market and just dumped it, I mean, how far would it drive the price down? I mean, I don't know if there's I guess you could do it, look at an exchange, but still.
No, there's not. I don't think anything could support that.
No.
Yeah. This is a little bit concerning. Not concerning. So this guy, Alex Breakpoint, he's from Friction Labs, did a Dune dashboard on Uniswap. Essentially, TLDR, version 3 LPs have lost an estimated $100 million. Nobody's really making money as an LP over there, even with the new version 3 capabilities to segment based on price ranges.
So that's just if you're saying that's just if people put money in the LP but don't stake the LP token somewhere else. Is that what that's
I would guess so. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thanks.
But that's I mean, these guys there are big firms putting in big money as LPs in version 3 Uniswap, and so the interesting thing was he put this out, and the Uniswap guys came back claiming that he was wrong, that they'd actually made $150 million. And then some other developer actually fixed their code on their Dune dashboard and showed that actually Uniswap was wrong and that it was $100 million loss. And he makes two really valid points here, right? Is that one, or multiple valid points. Number one, we put something like Uniswap up on a pedestal, can do no wrong. It's great. It's an engine. It functions. It's the core of DeFi, yada, yada, yada. And all of that is true. But the fact is that when LP investors really start realizing they can't make money on it, how long does Uniswap maintain that position, right? And this is endemic to all of them. Yeah. All AMMs that function this way, right? So it's a problem for the industry to consider, and that's one of the points he makes. Is that the other thing is a lot of projects in DeFi will see something like this, and rather than try to attack it, they'll actually stop and examine it, right? In this case, Uniswap, not only did they attack it, but then when they were proven wrong with their attack, they just went silent. They didn't even respond to it anymore.
That's wrong.
That's disconcerting. That's not what I would expect from Uniswap. So anyway, this thread will be, everyone should read this because this thread's going to be in the show notes. And I really think it's important for us to really be thinking about these things, because we don't get to keep going if our fucking fundamental dexes can't function and people actually, without people losing money. And that's going to be real important. I mean, that's why Frax is trying to own all of its liquidity, right? Because it doesn't trust the external systems to do it all for them. So that's why they're building all these platforms. They're building a staking protocol, a lending protocol, a swap protocol. They're building all this so they can control it and not be dependent on something that could collapse if everybody goes, oh, fuck, I'm losing money hand over fist,
Well, what I didn't look at was, I don't know if you said it or not, but however they're losing money when people just put money in those LPs or pair money into those LPs, because they're usually supposed to get some portion of transaction fees or something else, maybe platform fees.
Yeah, they get transaction fees, but they also get the impermanent loss.
Right.
And in this case, they were trying to claim, he wasn't claiming transaction fees. He was, and they only were doing one side of the impermanent loss. And so in fact, his number is correct that there's $100 million lost since version 3
in impermanent loss.
Yeah, including fees.
Interesting. Yeah, I just wonder, there's the impermanent loss concept or thing is interesting because it's I guess because it must be just because of the way the AMM works that creates those losses for you. Because if you were, or maybe there's a way to index the two items, two pieces of the liquidity pair. And then, maybe when you put money into it, then maybe the liquidity pool somehow single stakes a bunch of that to get yield to offset the impermanent loss for anyone. There's got to be some ways to juice that or fix it so that, or some other revenue stream to attach to it. So that, these people or hedge against it or insure against it or something, so that it doesn't, like you said, we don't want people to stop putting money in liquidity pools.
Exactly.
No.
I'm trying to find the guys at CalSwap are working on a solution, and not surprising because they knew the impermanent loss MEV problem from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Eamon says could be that everyone is losing money because everything is down for a year. Absolutely right. That's part
So
of
no
this equation.
transactions.
Yeah, that's part of this equation, right? That the volatility in prices is causing part of the problem. If there was more stability in prices, then these people might be making money. So I absolutely agree with you, buddy. I do, but I still think it speaks to an intrinsic problem with how these function. I'm trying to find it.
One other thing, Brad, did they break out in that study, like showing liquidity pools that were stable, something else, and then
No, he just did a total
two
dashboard of
non-stables?
everything. I think he did a dashboard
Yeah,
of
I'd love to
everything.
see what those look like, because it might
find it.
It might just be that in those we have two non-stables in there. It might just be most of a very large part of the impermanent losses in those pools. But if you're putting like ETH USDC, I would suspect you would have less.
Niblet says, but if everything is down, there should be no to little impermanent loss, correct? I said, well, it depends. If they go down in conjunction, if they go down together in the same percentages, then no, there wouldn't be. But because they're not, because there's wild variance in a lot of these tokens in price, then that variance that volatility is impacted, because that's the impermanent loss factor is the wild variations in up and down in price between the pairs in each pool. So, and Niblet said stables notwithstanding. So
yeah,
I just was reading a post. Loop, what's his first name? Can't remember his first name. Anyway, founder of CalSwap, Leopold, is from Gnosis, and Gnosis built CalSwap because they wanted to protect users against MEV, and now he is actually kind of in the open trying to solve this problem. So we'll see. Eamon said shitcoins down more bigly than big assets. Absolutely. One more thing, Joe. Neon EVM is launching on Solana. I have no idea the performance levels, no idea how good this is, but EVM capability on Solana could be a huge game changer for them if they can keep the chain running.
Well, have you followed the discussion on Doki Doki with gotcha machines?
No.
And how it's supposedly, because somebody was asking about this, and I chimed in of like, what does this mean? But it's now being set up to where it could deploy on all the EVM chains. So Phantom, Avalanche, Solana. So
Doki.
The gotcha protocol, protocol. So this is super. I mean, I love the fact that all these, like you said, if they can keep it running, of course, but I love the fact that everybody's figuring out angles here that are like kind of moving, not standardization, but maybe commonization.
Look at the projects already signed up: Graph, Pith, Aave, Curve, Balancer, Sushi.
Yeah, that's a murderer's row right there.
Ferrum, Breeder, Dodo, Midas. I don't know these. Coinvice, Portal Bridge, Acceler Core. This could be a really significant game changer for Solana. Like this, because there's already so much activity over there. There's already a dedicated hardcore fucking community, developers and users. This could be a really big change.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on my Louis Vuitton body glove suit that you gave me, and I'm going to go down and hang out at the Solana Center down in Wynwood. See if I can get some intel for us.
Let's go do that. That'd be good. So December 12th, 22, this is launching. So I got to tell you, this could be a big game changer if Solana can maintain, keep it functioning and up and running. This is impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Do I have anything else of...
Let's look in Telegram.
Kazakhstan is... there's a good little piece on Kazakhstan trying to become a crypto hub of the world. I'll just put the link in. I don't think we're really going to talk about it.
CZ's in pretty tight with those guys too,
yeah,
right?
Binance just got approved there.
Yeah, so I thought. That's another place that could have, obviously there's different reasons, like, Crypto London, if you go to London, there's other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Crypto Kazakhstan. I don't know what else there is.
I don't know what's
there.
in maybe Kazakhstan's nice. Who knows?
No, I heard it's pretty cool. I mean, I think they usually have some fights at leadership level, a couple of families brawling over who gets to be the boss. But it has a lot of oil. I think a lot of oil reserves, and I mean, it's Central Asia, so why not?
Nice city, looks nice. The mountains and the lakes look nice. That's pretty. Wow.
Remember we were talking to those miners Bitcoin miners way back, early 18, I think. And they were setting up mining rigs in these like salt caverns in Kazakhstan. And basically you would put in $1,000 and it would turn into like $6,000 in, I don't know, short amount of time. But I love I didn't ever participate in it because I'm like, yeah, right. But I love the concept of, the mining being in places where it's cooler or colder and stuff. And I love that they're always kind of innovating stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just far for me.
And cold.
I can only handle I don't really like the long flights anymore. The 12-hour ones, those just destroy me. But, London, well, from Miami in particular, I think, what's London from here? Like 7 hours?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But if you're New York, it's like 5.5 or something. So
yeah,
it's easy to get to.
That's all I got today, Joe.
I'm done. So midterms today.
Midterm elections. If you're not an election denier, you should get out and vote. If you are an election denier,
don't waste your vote.
Probably not going to really count. If you truly believe, believe the election was stolen. If you truly believe thousands of bureaucrats and citizens around the country coordinated to steal the presidential election, and that Americans are capable of that kind of coordination, then they're
probably still there and going to do it again. So no need to.
They're there. The plot, the deep state is still there to steal your vote. So you should probably.
But anyhow, let's just. I think it'll be interesting. Yeah,
hang out. You and Kanye.
We got tropical storms spurning around out there somewhere.
You, Elon, and Kanye can hang out and have a beer. And
me, Elon, and Kanye?
No, those that don't. Those that believe the election was stolen.
Yeah, whatever, man. But anyhow, it's I
Niblets.
remember like when I was a kid, and it was like there'd be a big football game, and then there'd be an argument the next day about whether somebody's foot had been out or in, or did they score or not, and everybody would be like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and then everybody kind of look around for a second and go, "What are you fucking gonna do now?" So it's like game over, move on to the next thing,
Exactly.
And that's what I hope we do. And just keep always advancing whatever your perspective is.
That's right.
But if you haven't voted, go vote.
So Joe is playing the unknown commentator today.
Yeah, I just want to.
Amen. Niblets, Euphoric, thank you so much for participating, for being a part of the conversation, for correcting us, for helping us learn. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you taking part. Niblets and I have also been having a conversation about some difficulties had getting onto Canto. So I'm hoping that the announcement I have will come here soon. Appreciate all of you guys being a part of it. Appreciate everybody listening and watching. If you like what we're doing, please rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe, click the little bell so you get notified when new episodes come out, and smash the thumbs up so that we get boosted in the algo. So all you got to do is click that little thumb. Just go bink.
Smash it.
Smash it. Kink. Are you in bed, dude? Seriously?
No, I'm on the sofa. No, because the Wi-Fi was.
I'm going to start doing shrink sessions with Joe. We'll start doing shrink sessions with Joe.
Yeah, Uncle Joe.
Yeah. How was your
relationship? No, it's just the Wi-Fi and everything's messed up on the other part of the house. So I was like,
all right.
But anyhow, man.
We love and appreciate all of you. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Stay safe. Things could get ugly over the next couple of days. Who knows? We have a tropical storm probably headed our way on Thursday. So show on Thursday is going to be probably hit or miss. My kids are out of school today. They'll be out of school Friday for Veterans Day, and they could end up being out of school Thursday. So we'll see what happens. Anyway,
FTT down to $11 off 50% now.
Fuck.
What the frig, man?
If he's buying it.
Oh, wait. This must be the... Wait, is it BTC dumping? What the... Something must be dumping hard.
BTC's at 18,954.
There you go. Okay.
ETH's at 1404. So why'd we start dumping again?
It's got to
What the
be
fuck? Was there
the
bad news?
BTC sales.
Oh, FTT's down to $9.66. What the fuck? Down 81%? What?
Damn, I'm
Jeez
seeing 58, but
Christ.
yeah, I'm sure that's all over the place. I'm in coin market cap. So.
Fuck. What the fuck's going on? What had happened? What did we do, Joe? What did we do wrong? Did we do something on the show to cause this? Joe froze. All right. Thank you, everybody. We love and appreciate you. Stay safe. And, you know, be careful, be stable, be conservative. And Joe, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the market, but, you know.
Yeah, I can't even see equities right now, but it's going to be an exciting day. But we might have that deep V I called earlier today.
Hey.
So I think the Feds are getting ready to tank it all. So, but everybody's ready to come in. So do it.
Let's see what happens.
And then we'll have
all right, everybody.
capitulation, and then we'll rocket ride. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.